Then he explains why things are so hard. Why has it been so hard? Remember verse 2, it says how the Lord your God led you through the wilderness these 40 years. Now, they were in the wilderness 2 years before they entered the wilderness. I want you to understand why I took you for 40 years in the wilderness. Humbling you. Do you know that the word is better translated afflicted you? God, in the difficulties of life, he exposes us in our character so that we can turn to him and receive the grace and help that we need. He's not surprised that we're so weak. He knows that. That's why he died on the cross for us. But he is asking us, as he exposes us, as he afflicts us, and again, often the affliction is afflicting us with ourselves and the consequence of our choices, so that we will learn and grow and be driven into God in our need. That I was humbling you. I was taking everything away. You were able to provide for your basic things at a very basic level in Egypt. I took away your capacity for you to manage your own life. Have you ever had a situation in your life where God took away the capacity for you to manage and control your life? The universe was built for that. God's telling us it is. Because he wants to teach us that he is the source and the provision. And that even when life is going good, he's really the source. When you thought all those years that you had under control and your efforts, the reality is it was God who was blessing you and blessing your efforts. But in certain seasons to build our character, it's like he pulls things back and he strips things away so that we'll be exposed and realize, oh my goodness, I cannot make this work on my own. And that is God's love, who's trying to draw us to depend upon him and to understand his love and his provision. Humbling you, testing you, to prove your character and to find out whether or not you'd obey his command. Now the testing you. Jesus takes us through times of afflicting, exposing us so that we can form our character and that all the good in us can be released as all that other stuff gets out. As we begin to understand what's really important and we begin to realize how much we're not in control and how much we need God. And this process is designed to make us closer. He humbled you. God humbled you, Moses writes. He stripped everything away by letting you go hungry. Meaning you no longer could grow crops. You couldn't take care of yourself. And so what did they do when they panicked? What did they do? They cried out to God. We would have been better off as slaves in Egypt. And then God provided manna. What an amazing thing. He fed them every day for 40 years. He did all this, he says, because he wanted to teach them that he is the source of provision. So that when they went back and inherit the land of Canaan, when the good days came, they would remember God is provision. And though he's blessing my efforts and my hard work, all that I do and all that happens and all the blessing and thriving, it's really coming from God. And he said, I had to take you through this season to purify you and to make you understand how much I love you and that you could count on me, not based upon what you do, but based upon my word and my promise that I love you and I'm going to take care of you to help you to grow and become the person you're supposed to be, which is the person you are that looks like Jesus. Yes, he humbled you by letting you go hungry and then feeding you with manna, a food previously unknown to you and your ancestors. He's saying, my ability to take care of you in these fires, in the floods, it is way beyond your imagination. Just because I can't think of how he's going to do it doesn't mean he's not going to do it. He just wanted me to ask him to do it. The Bible says that in these testings and in these trials, that God is going to provide for us in ways that we could never imagine, ways that we don't know, and in ways that our ancestors would have never imagined. But God is not limited by your history, and he is not limited by your imagination. When God strips everything away, and it's painful, when he takes us through the trials and he turns up the heat, he purifies us, but he also, because he is provision and because he is love, he gets us through. He provides everything we need. And we look back and we see his hand, his faithfulness and his grace, and we see he's got us this far.